That's weird.
What?
There's nobody there.
Oi, oi! You lucky people!
Oh,
hi,
Tyres.
It's a fuck. I don't know. It feel. Hello, I'm Alex, and I am back with another book review video. So last week I did the Swedish man climb window thingy book, and this week I'm coming back with a shebang with a book called The Only Story, written by Julian Barnes, released in, I believe, it's 2018. It's a story about this young man called Paul living in, I think, his little old Sussex, and he sort of met this older married woman called Susan, about 30 years his senior, and they developed this kind of relationship, and how their relationship developed for the next 10 years or so, and how it eventually got out of hand, and you know, you have to read it to find out yourself. So let's talk about the good things about this book. I think one thing that this book excels at is that it really fucked up your expectation of what a romantic novel would do. Usually with like romantic fiction stuff, right, with like movies or novels, you think about Hugh Grant in Four Weddings and a Funeral. It's not that, you know. This book is a really mature, realistic, and sometimes cynical take on romance. You know, it's really not for kids. That's what I'm saying. I think the two protagonists, right, Paul and Susan, are fleshed out really well, and their character development are really organic and realistic. With Paul, in the beginning of the story, he's like this really idealistic, kind of hopeful young man who thinks that love is just fucking fantastic, and you know, he thinks love is all life is about. But then as the story goes on, as reality kicks in, you know, he finds out that, you know, we all have our shit that we need to go through, and love might not be the be all and end all of things in life. You know, it's a development that doesn't feel, you know, odd. It feels really natural, a natural progression of character development, and something that you can see happening in the real world. And then with Susan, you know, her character is, I feel like the story was really brutal with her, and you know, the characters around her, and you know, the character of Susan, they make decisions that at times makes the readers go, fucking hell, mate, why do you have to do this? But then sometimes the decisions that you can totally back, the decisions that you can sort of make sense of it, but then you still feel, oh, I'm so disappointed. One of the best thing, right, that I values in anything, you know, with books, with movies, with music, it's about doing it with honesty. There's no sugarcoating when it comes to the story of this book. It's just the author, right, Julian Barnes, is just so fucking good at just coming in raw, no rubber, and just shroop up your ass and go, yeah, you know what, this is what I got, you know, take it or leave it. You know, it's such a realistic take on romance, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Now I want to talk about a more technical side of the story, a narrative decision. Is that this book is sort of written like a memoir. Most part of it is written from the first person perspective of Paul. It really gives you a sense that it's a person sort of retelling his life story to you, and it enhances that emotional impact on you. And you know, with like sort of a person retelling his story, it's usually like chopping and jumping between different timelines. It's kind of non-linear, and it makes sense because for most of us, you know, you tend to remember the good things in life only after like digging deeper and deeper. You go, actually, it's not that great. You know, it's actually kind of shit, and it is because of that it makes it really realistic. and structurally is also absolutely brilliant because it's split into 3 chapters, and the chapters don't really have name. It's just 1, 2, and then 3. It's a very common kind of structural kind of device in most movies and novels, you know, because there's the beginning, and then there's the build up, the development, the climax, and then the ending. It's structurally fucking perfect. So that's why this is so great. This book is so great. If there's a bad thing, it's gonna be like the feel of the side characters. I feel like they could have been fleshed out a bit better with Mr. McLeod, who's the husband of Susan. I feel like even though, yes, he is a proper fucking shithead that most readers can agree with, most readers can agree that he's a shithead, but you wish that you can get more from like him and Susan and understand more of their relationship. I'm not saying that there isn't, but then a little bit more would be a bit better. Again, I'm just trying to pick bones out of this fucking salad, because as I said, there really isn't like much shit things about this book. I'm not being like, you know, fucking fake or anything. I'm just being real here, dude. Going into a sort of deeper analysis of this book, let's talk about the meaning of the concept, you know, the title, The Only Story. It's actually a concept that, as Susan proposed in this book, it's basically saying that, you know, everyone in their life, they have their only sort of romantic love story with this other person. Once that sort of flame die down, you know, the love just becomes fucking non-existent, and the two people start hating each other, which is, I guess it's kind of true, but then it's so cynical that I, you know, as a more kind of hopeful person, as a very optimistic person in life, I just go, you know what, I don't really agree with it. But then again, it works in the story because it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because she's been feeding this concept to Paul for basically his whole life, and it's just sad to see the demise of the two of them. It's fucking depressing, and that's why this book is so
brilliant.
There are writers like, you know, 𝔹𝕠𝕠𝕜 who tends to use a lot of imagery and sort of twisted stuff to convey a sense of emotion, you know, which the readers will be struggling to understand even after reading the entire book, that what the book is actually about, is supposed to mean. But then there's authors like Julian Barnes, who write in such a realistic and kind of truthful way. I'm not saying that he doesn't have any sort of finesse to his writing, but then it's more straightforward than other authors. And that's why this book gets a almost perfect 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favourite books at the moment, but it might change in the future. I don't know. I absolutely love it. It's fucking top. And I recommend all of you out there who are like, you know, romantic novels, fucking stuff enthusiasts, to read it, because it's completely different from what you might read outside. It might broaden your scope on what love stories can be. It makes you realise that there's more to see than there can ever be seen, and there's more to do than... Hey.
Sorry, that's the Lion King, but...
Did you actually think that you can escape from one of my videos without a Doctor Who reference? Well, you are wrong, because I've done it again. I'm an absolute genius, and I just love Doctor Who, man. Anyways, I rest my case. Thanks for sticking behind. Go, you know what? Go read this book. Really, it's fucking great. And you know, here's some update of my life. New songs might be coming out in the next few weeks. I don't know. I'm almost done on one of them. Yeah, thanks for sticking behind. We are up to 9 subscribers at the moment, which is up from the 6 subscribers of last week. So hopefully next week I check in with you guys, it will be 12 subscribers, and we'll keep climbing up the, you know, YouTube subscribers pyramid. And yeah, I don't know. mean, the caffeine is sort of wearing off from the morning, and yeah, I need to go to sleep. Yeah, so yeah, I'll see you next time. See you around. Bye. Yeah, bye. So this week, fucking drilling